So remember, let's make it Earth Day every day.
Ah, that Earth Day stuff is for the birds.
Oh, you're wrong.
Hey, we live in the city. Why should we care?
The environment matters to everyone, whoever you are and wherever you live.
Listen to the frogs. You breathe the air, you drink the water.
So?
Then keep it clean.
Yeah, they might be right.
Yeah, they are right. Come on, let's make it Earth Day every day.
This is a message from the National Wildlife Federation.
Hi there, math phobes. You say your day didn't start out too good because your alarm didn't go off and you had to hurry to get to school. And when you brushed your teeth, you were so sleepy, you put athlete's foot ointment on your brush instead of toothpaste. And you could find only one sock, the left one, and your only clean shirt says, "I'm Grandma's little angel" on it. And when you gulped down the breakfast cereal Mom left for you, you heard the dog growl, and you realized you were eating his yummy chew biscuits. And on your way to the bus, the neighborhood bully, a big kid named Rocky, grabs you by the ear and poses a problem to you. He says he's scheduled your football team to play another team across town, and you have to figure out transportation. And when you tell him you're late for school, he says he'll hit you on the head so hard you look out through your ribs and think you're in jail. So you say you're with him. And he says there are 30 people on the team, and he wants to know how many cars you'll need to get them to the game if only 4 players fit in each car. That's a puzzler, isn't it? And you don't know what to do. And suddenly Rocky's right eye, the one that's always looking for trouble, focuses on you. So you start to ponder fast. 30 people, only 4 per car. How many cars? And Rocky's eye starts to develop a tic. Does all this seem to rattle you, cousin? Well, lift your head up high and keep your eye on the ball, your shoulder to the wheel, and your mind on the problem. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. Where are you going to get half a car? You think about it and use common sense and mathematics. 7 times 4 is 28, but then you'd have 2 players left behind. 7 cars won't be enough. And you stare right at the big guy and you say, 8 cars, Rock. Instead of popping you one like that, he says, "Thank you," and walks away. Mathematics can be a lifesaver, Bunky.
General MATHPITAL, crossroads of nearly 1,000 lives, a sanctuary, a haven, an edifice dedicated to the needs of those whose mathematical health is threatened.
Doc Gooden, stop Gooden. Relief is on the way.
Notice on the floor, notice on the floor. There is an improper fraction loose in the recreation room.
You called?
Yes. Since you're an older, wiser doctor, Dr. Cronkite, I thought you should know that the young and impulsive Dr. Cut-Up is about to perform a decimal point transplant.
A decimal point transplant? You were right to call me, nurse. You're a credit to mathematical medicine. I'd better go and see what he's up to.
Sharp thing.
Scalpel?
No thanks, just scalped. Ouch.
Ouch.
That's smarted. Stand back, everyone. I'm ready to cut.
Dr. Cut-Up, what are you doing?
Hello, Dr. Cronkite. It's a simple procedure. The patient wanted a decimal point transplant. I'm going to move the decimal point from here to...
Yes? From here to where?
Actually, I hadn't decided yet, but it doesn't make any difference.
Doesn't make any difference. Do you jest?
It's purely a cosmetic procedure. I can move it from here to here or here. Who cares?
When you took the Mathocratic oath, didn't they tell you about decimal points?
I guess.
At this moment, this little dot, this decimal point, has made this number what it is. It is a potent and important symbol. It has made this number 7 thousandths.
Big deal.
It is a big deal. If you move the decimal point from here to here, you change the fraction. You change it from 7 thousandths to 7 hundredths.
Really? Just by moving it one place?
Yes.
What if I put it here?
Then you change the fraction from 7 hundredths to 7 tenths. Don't you see, Doctor? You hold this fraction's future in your hands.
I see what you mean.
What did the patient tell you?
Well, not much, really. Just that it wasn't feeling up to snuff. Didn't feel it was whole anymore.
Then you might want to move the decimal point from here to here.
Why? What does that do?
Now it's a 7. A whole number.
Thank you, Dr. Cronkite.
It's all in a day's work for a dedicated doctor of mathematics.
And so, once again, common sense and place value have solved another problem. At General MATHPITAL, crossroads of nearly 1,000 lives. Until next time, stay healthy and may the math be with you.
Now, back to But Who's Counting? Already in progress.
So I told Pat Sajak, you're not the only guy on TV with a wheel. He's a close personal friend. I love him. Okay, you were asked to make two fractions that would yield the larger sum. How'd you do, Don Juan?
Don Juan-Two-Three, if you don't mind, Monty baby.
No, I don't mind. But by looking at your fractions, I can see you got 3 plus 4 for a total of 7.
Muy bien.
While Hedda Hair has over 9. Hedda Hair wins the first round.
Oh, I always was good at fractions.
Hey, you folks at home, get pencil and paper ready and play along with us, okay? I'm going to spin the wheel 4 times. Your job is to make 2 fractions that will yield the largest sum. And here we go with the first number. It's an 8. The first number is an 8. Put that on your fraction maker. Okay, here we go with the second number, and it is a 6. It's a 6. Remember, once you place your number,
We know, you can't move it.
That's right. Here we go with the third number, and it's a big number 7. The third number is a 7. Now, the fourth and final number is a 1. Well, let's see what you got. Remember, we're looking for the larger sum. That was the larger sum. How'd we do?
Well, Monty, I have a little more than 7.
Yeah, but I got more than 8, so who cops the jug, Don Juan, baby?
Hedda Hair wins again, no question about it. Well, you've both been gritty contestants. And for a runner-up, a great prize. A portable pneumatic fir tree.
Gracias.
Right. And to our winner, a 6-month vacation in Cleveland, Ohio.
But I'm from Cleveland. What kind of a dumb prize is that?
No need to thank me. Enjoy it in good health. That's all the time we have for today. Till next time, may the math be with you. Oh, thanks for the surprise.
I'm in the mood for red. Second time lucky. Green again. I've got my fingers crossed. Come on, red. Oh, this isn't fair. Probably get yucky yellow this time. Easy, red. Finally!
This red gumball brought to you by Probability, another division of mathematics. It's more than just arithmetic.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Thursday, 9:43 a.m., and the annual design show at the Metropolitan Museum of Wallpaper had been closed to the public due to threats of apathy. I was working the day watch out of Mathnet. My partner is George Frankly. The captain is Joe Greco. My name is Tuesday. I'm a mathematician. We were assigned to a job with the CIA. On the face of it, it seemed simple enough. Just keep our eye on a young king from Calpurnia.
He's gone!
Luckily, George found him and explained to the king's finance minister.
Miss Sherwood, the king just wandered off. All kids do that. When I was his age, my mom used to have to keep a leash tethered onto my garters.
But wandering off was not all the king did. He also sold his country's sole product, a fruit called chuckberries.
A chuckberry meeting?
He's negotiating the sale of this year's crop. We'll probably sell again to BLT.
He's meeting with a sandwich?
BLT is a large conglomerate. Buy it, loot it, and trash it.
But BLT, who had paid a fortune, 100 million kugels, for last year's chuckberry crop, wasn't interested in this year's chuckberries, and neither was anyone else, after a report came out in the press saying,
Walk Street, read all about it! Chuckberries are awful for you! Walk Street!
Then our CIA contact, in a perfect disguise as always, told us,
For what it's worth, when BLT bought the chuckberries, they paid for them in cash. 50% down, the rest in 12 monthly payments.
Guess how much money is in circulation in Calpurnia?
I have no idea.
I know that in the United States, at any given time, there's about $250 billion.
But Calpurnia is much smaller. I don't know.
About 200 million kugels.
So?
So, where did BLT get 100 million kugels to pay cash for the chuckberry crop?
That's 50% of all the money in the entire economy. It would be impossible to hoard that much money.
But I nailed it, and I said, and now we know there's counterfeit money in circulation throughout Calpurnia.
Wait, Pat. We don't know that for a fact.
But we suspect it strongly.
We checked with a finance minister who said,
This is not counterfeit. It would be impossible to counterfeit our money.
She almost had us convinced, until George and I played a game called the dollar game, but we used kugels instead of dollars. The only difference is the kugel has a 7-digit serial number.
Well, the dollar bill has 8. I'll go.
George and I played the game, but suddenly we realized neither of us was getting any pairs. No repeated digits in our serial numbers. What would the chances be of having 7 digits with no repeats?
Strange you should ask. It just happens that when I was at Mathnet U, I did a paper on those probabilities.
You did?
Sure. See? The probability of one pair, and nothing better, in an 8-digit sequence is 0.169344, about 17%.
Further computations revealed that only about 6 out of 100 7-digit numbers have no repeated digits. The serial numbers we had were unlikely. George was astounded.
Unlikely? Practically unthinkable. We have 6 bills without any repeated digits. This is absolutely mind-boggling.
After more info from Agent Ovitz, we decided to stake out the printing plant where the kugels were printed. And guess what we found? Look.
It's Sylvia Sherwood.
She dropped something.
Come on.
She dropped something indeed.
Things don't look good, Mathnetters. People in my country can't pay their bills. Having to move out of their homes, sell their cars. Can't even afford to buy food.
Prices are high, and your people aren't making any money because nobody's buying chuckberries.
I have to get back to Calpurnia to do what I can to help.
Before you go, Your Highness, do you know anything about this?
Gee, a theme park. No, I don't, but it looks great. All sorts of rides and hot dogs and soda pop, and an active volcano.
Never seen this before? How about a company called KP Limited?
Nope.
Is Ms. Sherwood around the embassy, King Chris?
No, she had to take a meeting.
Would you ask her to call us before you leave?
Sure. Sorry I haven't got time for one more Wheel of Jeopardy game, Mr. Frankly.
Well, maybe when things settle down a bit. We'll see you, King.
And as Monte Carlo says, may the math be with you. Oh, I almost forgot. You had a message.
Agent Ovitz has some info for us. We just have time to make the meeting.
Are you sure he said to meet him here?
Uh-huh.
Or maybe there would be the best place. Where could he be, Pat?
Psst. Hey, Mathnetters.
Agent Ovitz?
Yes.
What a disguise.
Not so loud. Don't cause a scene.
In New York, talking to a llama in a cage is considered normal behavior. What's up?
I finally got a line on BLT. It is not owned by Carl Eichenmeister, but a guy called Kaboom Pickens.
Isn't he that loudmouth entrepreneur who deals in junk bonds?
Hmm?
Has he got a record?
No, he's clean. I found out something else. Indelible ink.
Yes.
Guess who owns it? Carl Eichenmeister through BLT.
That's interesting because we saw Sylvia Sherwood at Indelible Ink last night.
What was she doing there?
We thought she might be printing up some unauthorized money.
How so?
We've looked at some Kugels that appear to be genuine, but which have no repeated digits in their serial numbers.
Is that unusual?
It's not as unusual as talking to a CIA guy dressed up as a llama, but it's right up there.
We think somebody's trying to destroy Calpurnia's economy.
Why?
They might want to turn the country into a theme park.
Hmm?
We'll keep you posted, Agent Ovitz.
Thanks.
Is there anything I can get you before we leave? Bag of peanuts? Old brand daiquiri?
Can't. I'm on duty.
Mr. Frankly, Miss Tuesday.
King.
What are you doing here?
Something strange has happened.
He called in. He told me he had important information. Can I pick him up? I hope I did the right thing.
You bet you did, Benny. What is it, King?
Well, you're never gonna believe this, but a man has offered to buy Calpurnia.
Buy your country?
Yeah, for 1 billion Kugels.
What man?
He's a man Miss Sherwood had the power breakfast with this morning.
What's his name?
Kaboom Pickens?
Kaboom Pickens? Kaboom Land. KP Limited. What did you tell him?
Well, nothing yet. Miss Sherwood thinks I should take the money and run.
I'll bet she does. Tell you what, King. Set up a meeting for tomorrow.
Okay, but...
Tell Kaboom Pickens you have another interested party who wants to buy Calpurnia.
Who?
Me. Now get going. And Your Highness, tell Mr. Pickens to bring a big down payment in Kugels or it's no deal.
Why?
We may want to play...
The dollar game.
You mean the Kugel game.
Come on, King Chris.
Who are you calling?
Agent Ovitz. I need a big supply of real Kugels and he can get them.
Pat.
George.
Good thinking.
Listen, when is the other bidder gonna show up? I'm a busy man.
She ought to be here any minute.
She?
Yes, she. As in her. I don't know much about her except she's a big plunger in February pork bellies and loves musical comedy.
Things look swell. Things look great. I got Kugels all over my plate. Tell my New York office to sell. Tell my LA office to sell. Tell my Chicago office that New York and LA are selling.
So Chicago should sell?
Of course not. Chicago should buy. I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but Chicago's a toddling town.
I got it, Chief.
Mr. Pickens, may I introduce...
I'll take it from here, Shorty. Merle Pesta. Put her there.
And you put that there.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Pester.
I'll bet it is. Probably people like you don't get to meet people like me very often.
Luckily, people like me don't have to meet people like you very often.
Yeah? Well, people like me don't like to be met by people like you very often.
If we could dispense with the drawing room cross-chat and repartee, perhaps.
If I may interrupt, please, I'd like to get on with this transaction. Won't you please be seated?
Look here, King boy. I'm prepared to offer you a down payment of 1 billion kugels for your country. Take it or leave it.
And you, Ms. Pesta?
Mine's the same. Now, who are you gonna choose?
Mr. Pickens, what do you intend to do with my country?
Why, nothing. I mean, it's a perfect little place. I wouldn't change a hair on its topography. I'll keep it just as wonderful as it is, I would.
And you, Ms. Pesta?
I'm gonna use it for a weekend house.
We seem to be at a stalemate. But tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna suggest a little game. An exciting game. A game of challenge and mystery.
What already?
The dollar game.
Swell! You're on. You know the game, Kaboom?
I cut my teeth on it.
But this time, we'll use kugels.
Kugels it is.
You go.
Okay. Damn it. I only got 8 high.
I got 3 fours. Guess I get the country.
Hold on now. I thought we was playing the best 2 out of 3.
Okay, I'm a sport. What do you got?
I got me a straight 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Not good enough. I got a pair of 6s.
But a straight beats a pair, I win.
Not when the pair is accompanied by 3 9s. Full house.
Does 3 out of 5 present a challenge that might interest a lady?
Nope. Tell you something else that doesn't interest me.
What's that?
Your money.
What about my money?
Go through it. If you can find anything in that boodle of queer that's better than a 9 high straight, you can have the country.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It seems you've won the country fair and square. Well, I'll just mosey off now. My work in this little old western town is done. If you're ever east of the Pecos...
Sit down, Pickens. Your money's not any good around here.
Or any place else.
What do y'all mean?
We mean your money is funny.
Ms. Sherwood, won't you join us, please?
How did you know?
Serial numbers on your bills are fishy. None of them has any repeated digits.
That doesn't happen with real currency. Probability worked against you, Pickens.
What do you mean?
Most counterfeiters usually pass a few bills at a time, so they can use just one serial number.
But you knew you'd need a lot of money, so you figured to print serial numbers with no repeated digits.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But why didn't you number them in order?
I wanted them to be really different. No repeated digits. That's my motto.
How did you do it?
What little old game, Al? After all, I own a company that makes it, too. I just hooked a computer game up to my printing presses at indelible ink, flipped it to the bingo cage non-replacement mode, had it reset automatically and cut her loose.
You mean you printed funny money with a bona fide socially acceptable game show game?
It can generate serial numbers with no repeated digits till the cows come home.
Well, the cows just came home.
To roost.
And as for you, Ms. Sherwood, how long have you been in this scheme?
I'm not.
Oh, come on. We saw you at Indelible Ink the other night. You're the only person who can cause money to be printed.
Plus, you told King Chris to sell the country after your meeting with Pickens.
I was at Indelible Ink. I knew Calpurnia was being inflated with funny money, and I knew it could only come from one place, and I knew I didn't do it. When I was there, I found the brochure.
About the theme park?
Yes. Then I got a call from Kaboom Pickens.
KP Limited?
I thought the only way to catch him was to pretend we were really interested in selling the country to him, so he could build his own theme park.
Why did you want a theme park?
When I was a kid, I was spoiled rotten. I always got everything I ever wanted, except a theme park named after me. I always wanted Kaboom Land.
It'd be nice, all right. Your very own theme park.
Yep. And I might have got away with it if it hadn't been for those dang non-repeating digits.
Yes, you were close, but no cigar. Well, I can see by the big clock on the wall that that's just about all the time we have.
I guess it could have ended worse.
Worse?
It could have taken longer to do this wrap-up.
We're gonna have to arrest you, Kaboom Pickens.
Dang! I figured something like that might happen.
You have the right to remain silent and refuse to answer questions. Anything you do say may be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to
What a
consult with an
disguise.
attorney
This
before
is the best
speaking
one
to
yet.
police and to have
He's
an attorney
invisible.
present during any questioning now or in the future. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you without.
Kaboom Pickens and his accomplice Carl Eichenmeister were tried in Manhattan, in and for the city of New York and the government of the United States. Zip code 10007 and 10007 FM. They were found guilty of a Title 18, U.S. Code Section 478, counterfeiting stuff, and sent away for a long time to a federal prison where they make phony license plates.
100% of Square One TV is a production of the Children's Television Workshop. This program was made possible by grants from the National Science Foundation, the Carnegie Corporation of New York, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and by the financial support of viewers like you.
Corporate funding of Square One TV is provided by the Intel Corporation Foundation. Intel's technology is the brain power for computers in your life. Intel, the computer inside.
For a complete set of Square One TV teacher resources, send a check for $9.95 to CTW School Services, Box SQTV, 1 Lincoln Plaza, New York, New York, 10023.